Alright, hello, afternoon, this is geometry. We have finding a missing angle using trig ratios. Now, in this case right here, we have a missing angle and we know two sides. So last set of notes, we were solving for a side. This time we're solving for the angle. So I'm going to use the ratios to find the angles. So when we go through, label the sides in relation to the reference angle theta. So in this case right here, I'm starting from theta. Theta is my unknown. That's my reference. That's why I have to start. So from theta, okay, let's label this triangle. Where is opposite?
BC.
BC. I'm going to put an O over there. What is adjacent?
AC.
AC is adjacent. Hypotenuse?
AB.
AB. Yes? Good. What information is given to me? Which sides are given to me? Hypotenuse and adjacent. So let's go ahead. The mnemonic again. So class, what's the mnemonic? Sum, old, caught, another, tripping on acid, right? If you write this on your page every single time, it's a good thing to try and remember.
Wait, how does it go again? Like,
Can you please say it to him?
Some old hippie caught another hippie
Stepping on Asbel.
Tylenol.
I think I got it.
As Tylenol.
Okay, so the information that's given to me in this case right here is what? Adjacent, hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse together gives me what?
C.
C, right? Which is my cosine. So let's go ahead and write this out. So it's cosine of my reference angle. Cosine of my reference angle. So my reference angle is what?
Theta.
Theta equals what over what?
10 over 11.
Very good. 10 over 11. Okay, I'm setting it up the same way I did yesterday. So, but this time my variable is over here. Now the next step we're going to do is to get my theta by itself, and it's a special thing called doing the inverse. When I do the inverse of something, I'm going to take this right here and replace it with this. I'm going to switch these two. Okay, by doing the inverse of this. So now I'm going to switch those two, so it's now going to be theta equals inverse cosine of 10 over 11. So when I say doing the inverse, here's the symbol for that. It's to the -1 like that. So that is the inverse. So on your calculator, you guys go to the trig menu. We're on the trig menu now, right?
Yeah.
There it is right there. It's already set there for you.
How you do that? Yeah, how you do it? How you get there?
Hit that button.
What button?
What button?
It says Trig.
Trip.
Where are you supposed to go from the home screen?
Home screen? Okay, scratch pad first then.
Trip?
So the scratch pad, the little calculator right here. You see the calculator?
So we put a trig first.
Yeah.
Okay, so from there, we got this up, and then now we do the trig, right?
Right next to
So cosine negative.
So trig button. Trig button. Here's the trig button.
Cosine
Down
negative.
here at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the inverse cosine.
Okay,
Now what am I plugging in now?
10 and 11.
So I'm going to do control divide to set up my fraction. 10 over 11.
Oh, that's how you do it.
And now I'm going to come up with, what is my answer?
24.6.
24.6. Now what is my units on this?
Your unit.
What did I just measure? What did I just solve for? An angle, and my angle's in degrees, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whenever you're solving for an angle, it's going to be in degrees. Those are my units for that. It's important. Okay, I know someone's going to make this mistake on the test. Okay, every time you're solving for an angle, you're going to have degrees. But if you solve for a side, it's going to be in like inches or feet or miles or yards. Are we okay?
24.6.
Yes.
Degrees.
Alright.
See that right there?
Yeah.
The little bubble? Okay. So, okay, we just went through the steps, didn't we? Started here, decide which trig ratio to use, set up your equation, use the inverse to get the angle measure, don't forget your degree symbol. There it is, we just went through the whole thing. Now, calculator notes. So this right here, remember on page 2 in your notebook, I said that's going to be blank for right now?
Yes.
Where do you think this should be copied down into there?
Page 2.
Yeah, this should go back into page 2, right? So this is the second thing I've given you that's supposed to go on page 2.
Oh, so
It's
if
like
it
our
says
vocab
calculator
thing.
notes, then you.
Yeah, the calculator notes. Those go on page 2. Just like when on page 2, I told you guys, it was on one of our other worksheets, how to change the calculator from radian to degree. So if it's not in degree, it told you step by step what buttons to push. Okay? That needs to be over on page 2 because that's your helpfulness right there. So if I told you guys everything all at once, you guys would probably forget, kind of like, me talking to you right now. You're going to forget already while I'm talking about it. Yes?
What?
Okay.
Okay.
So, make sure your calculator's in degrees. Press trig button, arrow down, over, inverse, for example. There's the inverse, the sign. Okay, enter your ratio in parentheses. Okay, good. Alright, you guys ready? Class,
Yes.
that guy.
What?
Say yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Let's try this again. Class,
Yes. That was good, boo.
where am I starting this at?
Theta.
Theta, what is my reference angle?
Theta.
Zero.
So I'm going to start this at,
Theta.
Theta.
and it's called,
Theta.
and it's pronounced,
Theta.
and I always start at.
Theta.
Okay, look, I got like 5 people. Other people are like sitting there like already asleep.
I don't get it. Because they were.
Exactly, right there. Like zone out on me, and I can tell the eyes are all glossy and everything. Zone out, like already checked out, already done. Okay, might as well be May 22nd right now. That's how much you paid attention. All right, so if this is my reference angle, this side is,
Opposite.
put an O. This side over here,
Adjacent.
and this side is,
Wait, Mr. Pun. That's
hot
what I was
pot
talking
TCP
about
moves.
before for the thing. Like the longest side is always the hypotenuse.
yes, and it's always across from the right angle.
Okay.
Okay?
Always.
Yeah, it's always across from the right angle. All right, so now listen up, please. Given this information, I have the opposite, and I have
Adjacent.
what ratio uses opposite adjacent? Tangent. Very good. So tangent of what's my reference?
Theta.
Equals
8/8.
So that.
now. What's the next thing called that I do?
Equals what?
8/8. So it's going to be theta equals what was it called when I did that? What's that called?
Is it beta? F or data?
Inverse. So it's tangent, inverse tangent, right?
8/8.
8/8.
Alright, let me put that in.
Put the regular.
I keep on forgetting to put that little one. God damn it.
Hey. Language. I just recorded that.
My bad. I forgot how to do that deepness with the calculator.
Okay, my answer is
25.
45 what?
He said.
Degrees.
He said 20. I mean, 45.
45 degrees.
Yeah.
Is this stuff right here pretty easy now?
Yeah. Now that I paid
This is like super easy. So you have to know what you're looking for Okay, and you have to label what you have.
I really don't know what it means.
So let's take a look at today's practice.
The practice is beyond me.
Okay, on the practice right here. So little q and little p. Are those sides or angles?
Size.
Angles.
Wait, you said what?
Little q, little p. Sides or angles?
Size.
Those are sides. What about capital P?
That's an angle.
Angle. Okay, let's start with capital P. So to figure out capital P, I know that these two, Q and P, have to add up to what? 90, right?
Mm-hmm.
These two have to add up to 90. So can you tell me what angle P has to be?
90.
64? Because together they have to add up to 90, right? So angle P is supposed to be 64 degrees. Okay? Now, so I'm going to give you guys help. This right here, these two right here on top, you solve it just like we did yesterday. So these are on page 11 notes.
Okay, do one.
This one right here is on page 11 notes. Okay, on this one right here, again, page 11 notes. Down here at number 3 though, this is going to be 2 angles, so this is today's notes. And so is number 4. 3 and 4 today's notes, where 1 and 2 go along with yesterday's notes. So these things never go away. Yeah. Alright, so don't forget, like, subscribe.